Oh boy, it's that time. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I am finally doing what I've been promising I would be doing for a couple weeks now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start sanding it with this bumper. I need to kind of mold it a bit with the fiberglass bondo and stuff, if you guys remember from earlier in this series. But yeah, I've got the rear bumper pulled off the car already. I don't even think I'm gonna back it up because the main thing I need to do is just fitment things, so I might just leave it in the driveway. I was thinking about showering this morning, and then I realized that I'm gonna just be working with fiberglass all day, so haven't showered. I brush my teeth though. I'm not that disgusting, but today is just kind of like a huge work day, and hopefully we make some progress. I'm not entirely sure how far I'm gonna get in this video. Hopefully I can get the thing in the rough shape that it needs to be, but it needs a lot of work. Like, it looks pretty good on camera from what I've shown you guys, but if you saw it in person, you'd see all the little imperfections that I've been dealing with. So let's hop right in. Alright, so I've been taking a closer look at this thing with it on the car, and of course the obvious thing is that this warping right here is going to need to get filled in. So the high spot on the warp is actually, it's almost exactly where I would want it once I get the final mounting position on here. But yeah, as you can see, this part is way too low, and it pretty much spans all the way over to here. I remember when I had the taillights in, I think over on the right side, this is pretty good. So I'm not exactly sure where I'll need to fill to, but most of this area is going to need to get filled in with bondo. And then of course, same thing over here. It's kind of just sagging down a bit more than I'd like, and unfortunately I can't really raise it up, and I don't really want to have any sort of tension in there because I could kind of bend it up with the mounting points, but it just, I would hate for this thing to crack, and it might not, but there's a pretty good chance that it could crack over time. So we're just gonna beef it up a little bit. There's no harm in doing that. It might take a little bit extra time, but I want this thing to be like perfect. Moving on to the sides, I've almost got these how I want them, but of course they're not gonna stay in place until I get the mounting points inside the wheel wells. So this side is gonna need a bit more work than the passenger side, but overall it's fitting decently. I need to sand this down a bit and just get it a little bit more level because this body line is pretty good, but then these are just a little too thick. So I'll be able to sand that down. And then this crease right here on the edge, which you might be able to see on camera, you can kind of see it's sort of up too high, so I'll just sand it down and make it as level with that body line as I can. There's a lot of just fine adjustments that are going to need to be made. Making that a bit thinner should help keep it in place, and then of course we'll have the hardware on the inside of the wheel well that'll hold it in, but we can't really have it all the way in until we sand it down. So that's going to be the main goal with the sides. And then this section right here isn't lining up perfectly. Of course you can see that there's a big gap right here, so we're going to need to bring this out, but then also this is touching the quarter panel right here, so we're going to need to sand this down. So overall we need to just have a steeper slope on these side pieces. And then looking at it from the back, you can see that it's a little bit, it kind of curves in right here at the top, and I want that to be flush with the quarter panel. So we're going to need to add a little bit of extra material right here. All in all, just some kind of minor adjustments. Shouldn't take too long. It's just kind of a tedious process. Moving over to the passenger side, kind of the same story, although it is fitting a little bit better. Up here, we're going to need to fill this gap in quite a bit, which is unfortunate, but then same story right here. It's touching the quarter panel, so we're going to need to sand this down, make it a little bit steeper. This body line here, it does pretty well, but as you can see, same thing. It's just too thick right here, and it can't fit all the way in. So we're just going to need to sand these down, test fit it, sand a little bit right here, and then start filling things in. So all in all, not horrible. After I cut out those sections in the last episode about this, it started fitting a lot better, but it just needs a lot of work. Alright, so I just finished putting the layer on the bumper, and I came back inside to just let you guys know that if you're working with this stuff, please wear a mask, with like a proper mask with the filters and everything. Like, you do not want to breathe that stuff in. And I get it. Like, I'm one of those people that's like, oh, I don't want to wear gloves. Like, I don't need it. But this stuff is seriously no joke. You do not want to breathe this in. It'll give you cancer. So if you're doing fiberglass at home, or you're following the footsteps of the rear bumper and all that stuff, please wear protective gear. Like, I have the door shut, and I didn't take off my mask until I got inside because that stuff is just really gnarly. All right, guys, so I've been letting this sit for a little while, and I want to go ahead and show you guys a pretty cool trick that you can use if you're doing this. It's got kind of a cool scientific explanation. So when you first put this on, the catalyst stuff that you put on the fiberglass bondo just kind of makes it start to harden. It creates like a chemical reaction, and I can't really explain all that. But I do know that it's an exothermic reaction, which if you remember from like science class, that means the energy is being released. Because of that, as this is drying, you can actually put your hand really close to it and feel the warmth coming off of it. And then as it starts to harden, you can touch it with your hands. So the reason why that's valuable is that sometimes you can touch it with your hand and it's hard enough to touch, but it won't actually be completely dried on the inside until it's not hot anymore. So basically, you'll want to wait until it's just like room temperature and you can just touch it and it doesn't feel like it's radiating heat. So just kind of a cool thing for you guys. The next step with this is going to be to like sand this down and get these rough spots, and then I'm going to put it back on the car. I know it's not even close to being done. Like if you look at the warp on here, you can see that like what I did was basically nothing, and I used the rest of that container of fiberglass Bondo on it. So I do have another container, but it might even take 2 more containers to complete this thing. It's going to be a huge process, but I figured I'd go ahead and sand that down so that way we can have a nice smoother surface to put the next layer on, and then I'll hold it up and just kind of get an idea of how much I need to add on. Alright, so as you can see, we've made like no progress. No, I'm just kidding. So we've made a little bit of progress right here. This is sticking out a little bit now, so I'm going to need to like sand this in and make sure I create that lip that was existing before I put all this stuff on here. It looks like we've brought our line over a little bit. So before, the peak part was like right here and then it immediately swooped down. This middle section is almost where I want it, which is pretty good. But then of course, just over the course of this, it's slowly just dipping down more because the whole thing had a slope going down, and it's going to take a while. This side over here is even deeper, so I think the next step is going to be to like wash this off so I can get all this dust out of here, and then fill this in even more and just try to build it up as best I can. But it's kind of tricky because the more I put on, the harder it is to like slope it back, because over here it's almost exactly where it needs to be. So I got to make sure that it's like a steady increase or decrease in slope. It's a little bit hard to explain, but I'm thinking that the next step I'm going to like add a bit more, sand it down, and then when I put it back on, I'll have the tail light in place so that way I can get an idea of how close I'm getting, because after this next step it should be pretty close on this side. I mean, it's still going to take a lot of work to get it fitting perfectly, but I think that the bulk of the fiberglass Bondo will go on the next stage. And same story over here, I'll probably need to put the tail light in and do a bit of work there. I haven't started sanding these yet. I think that the next time I put on more fiberglass, that's when I'm going to start sanding these and try to get these edges to start fitting in, because these are just going to be really tedious. Sometimes I think that the big sections of fiberglass are easier to work with just because it's a little bit more forgiving when you have a big chunk, but the little sections, it's like if you mess it up, you just gotta just take it all back down and start over from scratch. So hopefully the sides won't be too bad, but the main thing I was working on today was just getting those big sections filled in, because that's just so much freaking Bondo glass. It's kind of hard to give you guys an idea, but I had a huge section here, like this is my hand, and I had like twice the size of my hand of Bondo glass just spread out over this thing. So big long process, but I think I am making progress slowly. Of course, this is just like it's real rough. Getting this to be completely perfect and ready for paint is gonna be quite the feat, because the way that the stuff goes on naturally is just really rough. It kind of just looks like dirt, and so you have to just slowly sand it down and make it perfectly smooth. Even the finish that the thing came with is just not ready for paint. You can basically scrub crap off of it with your hands, so the sandpaper will take off more of these big nasty chunks and just make this thing more prepared for paint. So all in all, making progress, but we're gonna do a big time lapse because this is just gonna take a lot of guess and check, lots of adding and sanding and then repeating the whole process. So hope you guys are looking forward to more of this.
The next day.
All right, so this week is just turning out to be so weird. There's like construction going on at the neighbor's house, so every day until like 3 p.m. there's just these dudes out here in the driveway. They're just parked right next to the Mustang, and it's just making things a little bit chaotic. And then also I just started dog sitting for a friend of mine who you guys have met before, my friend Drew. So later in this video, we'll go and say hi to the doggy because she's a sweetheart. But we're gonna put in a little bit more work today before I end this video. So I think I'm just gonna add another layer of the stuff on the top, but then while that's drying, I'm gonna work on sanding the edges like I said. So we're just gonna hop back in. I don't know, kind of a weird cut. I think I said I was gonna do like a time lapse, so I guess this will be a time lapse. Not entirely sure. We'll see. I also have this tripod. Some of you guys may remember me talking about it in a past video, but I lost this little adapter plate, so I had to buy a new one. So, because I basically have to put this on my camera in order to use the tripod. And this was like $10. But now I can use the tripod again, so that's good. Okay, there's some progress being made, but it really doesn't look like it. I filled in a bit too much right here, so now I'm gonna have to like sand this back in to create that little lip that kind of tucks underneath the trunk lid. I also put this taillight in here just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're doing. I've brought over this line a bit further, but there's still a gap right there, which is frustrating, but I mean, I knew that was gonna happen. Of course, it's so hard to show on camera, but this is just so bad. It looks like an iceberg or something. Like it's really, really, really bad. This is just gonna take so much body work and sanding to get done completely. I'm actually thinking about maybe going down to like a 60 grit to help just take off a lot of these chunks, and then I'm just gonna have to spend some more time filling this stuff in. I might get like latex gloves and then use my hands to kind of fill things in, because when you use the trowel thing, it just doesn't always work out the best. I sanded down these sides and I think I got these a little more level, but there's a bit of a gap happening right here. So unfortunately, I might have to add a little bit back on here, which kind of sucks. I think I sanded it a little too much right here. Also, I think that I might need to shorten this this clip right here. I think it's just a little bit too long. And also the main thing is there just needs to be a bit of a ledge. It doesn't have to stick in super far. This isn't a very deep retainer, so there's no harm in just cutting some of that off, but obviously I don't want to cut off too much because I do need it to clip in there still. The reason I say it's not the end of the world is because I'm gonna have hardware inside the wheel well and the bumper will kind of fit in like so. I did a bit of sanding right here and it looks like it's not touching the quarter panel anymore, but I still think I need to sand it down a little bit more, make the body line more consistent. And then I haven't started molding these sections yet. I figured I would just keep working on this back section until I got it decent, like a C-, and then I might start molding these side pieces. I haven't started sanding this one yet. It's still touching, but same story over here. I decreased the body gap by sanding the top of this down, so that's nice, but it's also sticking out a little too far. So I think I need to cut a little bit of this panel off of here just to make it sit a bit more flush. And then once I get that a little more flush, I'll be able to kind of inch it forward by sanding this little section down, because this is kind of what's stopping it from moving into its final place. So there's a lot of just really small things that I don't always show on camera, but I'm trying to be as thorough with this as possible just because there's so many details, and it's like you alter one aspect of it and then the other side of it will just shift, and there's just little things that you really have to be meticulous about. All right, so before I wrap this video up, I just wanted to go ahead and tell you guys about like a secret project I've been doing in the background behind these videos, and I don't think I've even talked about it in a video yet, but if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that a few months ago I brought merch to the channel or to my account or whatever, but I finally got another order of these. So I have these Mustang stickers. Of course, it's like the first iteration with the GT350 front end and the black stripes and all that. I say it's secret because I haven't even made a website for anything like this, so if you want to buy one of these, you gotta DM me on Instagram currently. Of course, once I get a website going for this sort of thing, I'll be sure to fill you guys in. I'm still kind of teach myself how to do all this. I also have to teach myself how to make a website, so a little bit behind in the merch game, I feel like, but this channel is also pretty small. Of course, all the money that is made from selling these little stickers will go towards the build, and the last batch that I made, I literally just bought more stickers with the money that I made. So this isn't like some sort of cash grab, and if you can't afford the stickers, nothing is changing. There's no like exclusive content happening on Patreon or anything like that. This is just like a thank you. If you guys wanted to support, you can buy a sticker. Puts a little bit of money into my pocket so that way I can buy more stickers, share the car with more people, and make more cool content like this with you guys. So in no way am I asking you guys for money, but if you want a cool sticker, you're welcome to buy one. But you have to DM me on Instagram because there's no website. So it's an underground thing. You gotta follow me on it. Well, you don't have to follow me, but I don't know why you'd buy a sticker if you didn't want to follow me. I don't know. But DM me on Instagram. They're $5 each. Originally it was $5 if you picked it up and then $6 shipped, but I just decided to cut into my own profits a little bit. $5 flat. You can Venmo me, Cash App, PayPal, whatever. It's $5 and you get a cool sticker. So Drew and his girlfriend Allie are letting me borrow their car for this week while they're out of town, which is actually super clutch because of course the Mustang is down and it's my only driving car, so I have to stay over at Drew's house to take care of the dog and everything. But I have a daily car for the next like week, so hopefully I can get the bumper to a position where I could actually have it like fully mounted on the car in the time that they're gone. I'm kind of trying to pick up the pace a little bit, but of course at the same time not rush too much, if that makes sense. I'm trying to pick up the pace without rushing. Hi Phoenix, you ready to go outside? Yeah. So that's pretty much going to conclude today's video. I know it was kind of weird and spread out across a couple days, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up down below. Consider subscribing for more car content and dog content apparently. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and dream big.